With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you. With a mixture of expectation and impatience, well bottled.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat. I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civil...
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably right.
Very well, Mr. Dubois. I, too, should you find yourself more amenable in the future, I'd gladly resume our conversation. But until...
You're no Titan affiliation, buddy. He's got you in a fork. Sit down or leave.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man. So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair is incredibly uncomfortable. Fortunately, your ass is made of iron, and the chair is made of wood. Iron beats wood.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense. It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it.
Okay. I respect a man with principles. No handouts, then. Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you...
His slug-like lips move. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape its gravitational pull.
Are you all right, Harry? You seem anxious. Don't be. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths.
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded. God, you're sweating. Your knee, you want...
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so...
What is this?
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry! Mr. Dubois!
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like your throw...
What an odd demonstration of...
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining...
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself... It is about time to stop embarrassing yourself.
What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate... You've hurt me, Harry. Me, a friend.
And gets over it in 2 seconds.
I trust you, like I trust all my friends. And I know you'll never talk to me about this again, because you don't want to wound me. So do what you want.
Thank you for your understanding.
You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry.
None taken. Do we have anything else to do here, Harry?
Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities.
That's what the hanged corpse called you. Harry.
My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction...
I think the odds of that are very low.
So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help you out. With my big fat folder.
It's just a brown folder. You can't make out what's written on it.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now. It's Harry. Harry Dubois. And I can work with you, Harry. Now, but of course, Harry. Your precinct is the 41st and you live in Jamrock. You're a Jamrock boy. A long way from home, but that's okay. Family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here. And, well, yes. I'm sure you're gonna make one little boy or a girl very happy and proud one day, Harry. Harry, you're not simply a cop, you're a star. A bright shining star in the drab law enforcement sky, outshining all other stars. You're a superstar. Of course I do, Harry.
He's probably just making a guess based on your recent activity.
This?
I find that very suspicious.
I'm afraid this is meant for Union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Please continue, Harry.
Everard's large hands are covering the folder, but the look on his face.
Oh, Harry. Oh, wow.
I'm sure it's not that bad. At worst, he has no RCM fault.
So how about it, Harry? You need assistance, I presume. Of course, Harry, of course. Ah, yes. Your side investigation. Thank you. You've got some spirit clearing up phony drug accusations alongside this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and see if I can get you the key to the city, Harry. Now let's talk real business. I don't know what that means, Harry. Shady brew? There are so many moving parts in my You know what? Don't even tell me. Whatever it is, do it. Surprise me. Yes, your lost gun. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter of time.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun.
Yes. Thank you for the hot tip regarding your lost gun, Harry. Now, please, let the professionals do their job. Kick back, Harry, relax. I have great guys on this. You focus on what's important. Building our relationship for the good of Martinez.
It did not come as a surprise to him. He might actually not be bullshitting.
Damn it, Harry. That's exactly what it means.
He is not.
Of course. I understand. We help you, you help us.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to help, like I'm helping you with your lost gun. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me. But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, that sounds good.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines. Oh, you're being too modest, my friend.
Does this jiggling ooze think he's going to use you?
Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day.
You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you.
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about. A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly. Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can... Harry, my dear friend, I am what people call a local bigwig. Fantastic, my friend. You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker, too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. Let's hear it, Harry. Of course, Harry, of course. Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here. We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends. Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. Yes, yes. Low balling.
His expression makes it clear. This is childish.
If she actually wants to see me...
It's a fortress. He doesn't want to see her.
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. He's an old man, Harry. Harry! Honestly,
It's hard to
Of course, I have no interest in tell her about...
This is weird. Not...
Am I going to up? Would you ask a man like that? Don't worry, Harry. Anyway, I assure... Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate. Here. You're one of us now. A real red and white union man.
Rusting control with a loud grind. The crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air. With a surprisingly quiet thunk, the harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. Moving this container, of course.
I can't see how that was worth the wreckers.
Before you stands a cargo.
You do? There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one? You just picked... We're not here to interact with...
No reply. The knock, you attempt to turn the handle. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement.
How'd you like our harbor? It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye. The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's... What a thought! Why would noble workers resort to such a thing? Unless they were pushed, of course. Your dead guy was an enemy combatant. He was an agent of the opposition, attempting to undermine our honorable efforts. I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all...
He means a more violent...
Understood. This has been of limited use.
No problem. A key, huh? What? Oh, say no more. I got you. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say. I'm not so sure about the hustle grind, but you know, it doesn't matter. What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the whirling in rags. That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized. Means we keep out of each other's business.
Okay, but where did you get the key from?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter. None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children, I guess. I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we are fighting for.
Ask him about the Hardy Boys.
Los Ardis? They're an independent militant group. A bit too high-strung, but it comes with the responsibility. They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Except it's Everard's law. But really, they're just like you. We're negotiating our share. Aye. All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board, so they could take part in the decision-making process. I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've met him. In my eyes, he is a capable organizer and a decent businessman. I guess you kind of get to be the village chief. He oversees the harbor, makes deals with the owners or other relevant parties, watches out for his own.
By that, you mean corruption?
By heavens, why would it not be corrupt? We live in a harsh and disordered world, see? And in this world, the old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is, personally, not too lavish. He is reasonably lavish, sure. That's his prerogative. It's not like you want a saintly demeanor on a corrupt motherfucker. That would be a manipulative illusion. Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in the world anyway, and moralism is the most corrupt of them all. No. I don't think I'm a communist. Seeing something of value and saying I want it all to myself is a much older and simpler notion. No science to it at all. Even a weak child can think it. The only things holding someone back are I can't and I shouldn't. I have nothing against communists. They are honorable boyaderos. And they have good analysis. But my own code serves me well. If my code starts failing, a code can fail a man as well as a man can fail a code, then I will have to submit to a new one.
He knows who he is, firmly grounded, has no need to reinforce or elaborate his political identity to himself or...
See, I am primarily a lazy person. Sure, I've had the necessary free time. Fortunately, there's always time.
The look in his brown eyes conjures up an understanding. For him, having command of his time is the most important thing. The man sits on the rail. The precarious world. How not to lose? It is impossible not to. The world is balanced on the edge of a knife. It's a game of frayed nerves. You're pushed on by numbers and punitive measures, pain, rejection, and unpaid bills. You can either play, or you can crawl under a boat and waste away. Turn into salt, or a flock of seagulls. Your enemies would love that. Or you can fight. The only way to load the dice is to keep on fighting. Right to work! A lorry stuck, the windows, fumes of...
Kuno's like Kuno's dad? Kuno doesn't give a fuck. So? Yeah, so?
Kuno sent your fat.
Look, pig. Kuno sent you to Ruff's. You got fucked after this shit. You.
Yeah, real interested.
Kuno doesn't.
An inconspicuous pile of it's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted against an old shack. Because it's nice and... An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material. Just an ordinary wall. The spread pattern of these bullet holes makes your chest ache. You peer into the faded marks in the stone. They peer back like an endless row of tiny black holes. Sweat starts trickling down your brow. Your chest feels tight looking at them.
You okay there? Might be the after effects of your past escapades. What are you looking at? Remnants from the revolution. These are... No, we are not constructors and renovators. And these bullet holes do not much.
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper net, the royal lion. You knock, silent.
I guess no one...
You're pretty the leather upholstery is worn and rough. In fact, it's oddly silent in the...
Let's be honest. This isn't what I joined the RCM for. But apparently, working with the local union boss to get info on an investigation is not something... If the Merc Tribunal happens before we solve this, we are looking at casualty. On the other hand, yes, presenting a fabrication is known to get...
The door is right here. You try to be as silent as you can. Finally, the door unlocks. The sound of the good job. There's nothing as you hold. This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty. This isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big sun. This is the sevenfold sun miracle. It's an optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old Revachol got its flag.
Mm-hmm.
The lieutenant does not bow to... A row of mugs sits on the shelf. A little ring. Though cheerful, the lieutenant picks up one.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man.
Yes, your broken mug friend.
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have you, and now they've drawn the ire of the Union.
An interesting little clue. Let's...
Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from this clothes in the trash league.
A row of mugs. Master Investigator, you just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden places, can you? Attaboy, the world's secrets were made for you. They wait patiently. A rusting control panel. You grab the handle and pull. The water lock starts moving.
Okay, if we ever need to get to the coast, then this is the way.
Focus on one thing. Achieve it, then the next, he thinks. That's the task chain. banged-up motor carriage lies half submerged in the icy water, slowly sinking into the Elysium Ocean. Only the cabin top, rear wheels, and the engine remain visible.
It appears to be so. I agree. We should...
You get a sudden, sinking feeling. Stomach acid comes up as you look at the motor carriage in the deep, dark, cold water. The logo is too deep in the murky water. The motor carriage, a single day in the salty seawater would ruin most vehicles, but this one looks worn even in places the salt water hasn't touched it. Rust, moss, and sea life.
The ice hasn't closed around the vehicle yet. My guess is it's been here since last Saturday or Sunday.
Your mocking tone finds no response, but the motion of the waves.
Yes, yes. Clearly, this is a triumph. I'd say the vehicle has been here since last Saturday or Sunday. Let's wait for the load.
Great idea. Papers.
I don't know.
As you sit down in the old, rusty playground, the world around you becomes very silent. The hinges creak under your weight, dangerously so. Nothing but the sound of seagulls high above in the sky.
Yes, it does. Let me think about it.
Spit flies from your mouth. The lieutenant must think it's rather funny. He smiles and
Just keep at it.
with his lips puckered, the lieutenant lets out a beautiful melodic trill that puts even the Icelandic thrush to shame. You hear the sound echo on the large body of water. Clouds race across the spring sky. The clouds pass in the sky, and the shadow of the swing moves like the hour hand on a timepiece. 30 minutes have passed. Looks like this might take a while. Time to present a good topic for...
I believe it's following a pattern set millions of years ago by cosmic forces. But I suppose it could move quicker, yes?
Clouds on the horizon grow darker, and the shadow of the swing set keeps climbing. You hear the distant rumble of the city. 30 minutes pass.
God, I hope so.
Your voice echoes on the water, strange and out of place in the environment. 30 more minutes pass.
Detective, I've been able to make out the mark ever since we arrived.
Yes,
It is a simple and rugged machine, favored by working men, government. Yes, 41. What do you think it stands for? A precinct. Yes. A police precinct.
a massive pit opens up in your stomach. You feel like you're about to faint. And oh God, no. Just nope. Say no to this, Harry.
Yes, your car is in the sea. Face it, so we can start dealing with this. I'm afraid so, yes. It looks like you drove your police motor carriage into the sea after you jumped across. Yes, let's go take a look.
A police badge on which you see the photo of a man. You. Some seaweed is stuck to the back.
At least something good came out of all this.
Encased between two durable plastic sheets is a bluish card with lines of information and a watermark in the shape of the street grid of Revachol West. You see a photo, a name, a rank, a document. The man keeps winking at you with his green-grey eyes. The photo is old, no doubt about that. 8, maybe 10 years. The guy in the picture is rather good-looking. He's got a nice haircut and is distinctly lacking in massive sideburns. What do you think? His face is already contorted by the expression, although it looks less grotesque on him than it does on you now. It looks better on him because he isn't in as much pain while producing it as you are now. Although there's already a hint of that pain, certainly. The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information on it, and a shining watermark.
Harrier. That's long for Harry. So you are Harry. Evrard was half right. Probably not a lot of people know your full name. Whoever told him you're Harry Dubois didn't. Pleased to make your acquaintance, Harrier Dubois.
The badge in your hands shines as you...
Lieutenant W. Freighter. The lieutenant is a rank above sergeant and below captain. It's the highest rank in the RCM that still does field work. I am a lieutenant. The title of Freighter is added to your rank when you decline a promotion to a higher rank. In your case, captain. You have declined twice, thus you're double Freighter. There are many reasons one would do this. The rank above you in your precinct's décomptage might be taken, or sometimes promoted officers do not want to replace their superiors out of respect. And sometimes they just prefer the type of police work available to their current rank, in your case, lieutenant. Décomptage is the hierarchical system employed by the Revachol citizens' militia. It means counting down to twos. The lowest rank is junior officer, usually teenagers. Then there are the patrol officers, then sergeants, lieutenants, and then a captain. That's basically it, except kings like satellite officers and the additional freighter rank I already explained. You are given the title of satellite officer if your partner is quickly promoted through the ranks and you rise with him. You don't seem to be a satellite. No, I've been putting up with you because despite an unconvention, it matters more than driving your motor carriage into the sea. And now we've even found your badge.
Still, he doesn't trust you completely. Such a small yet precious thing.
That's just the serial number. Revachol, Jamrock, Precinct 41, with some numbers thrown in there for good measure. 4 months ago. I'm guessing that's when you were promoted to the rank of Lieutenant W. Freighter. A new badge usually comes with a new rank. You seem to have been doing well then.
The pain in your chest tells you you were working yourself to death to earn that rank. The case created a lot of edge you have to take off. The death march really gets us going.
Yes, it's the designation of your precinct. 41, like mine says 57. The 57th is mostly industrial harbor, a lot of asphalt. The 41st is... it's a tough station to work in. You have all of Jamrock to cover. That district should have 3 precincts, but money is what it is. But then again, it's a legendary district, and a hell of a station too. It must be an honor and a curse to work with people like Price, McCoy, Berdiaeva.
He knew all those people, although they're not from his station. They must be big. The badge in your hand. The porter reel is just what you needed. The reel's attached to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind. You press the large button marked Commencer, and the tape starts spinning. There's a small delay before the song starts playing. It sounds like someone's moving in the room, getting comfortable. Then the organ starts playing a simple, melancholic tune, echoing in the hallway. A lone singing voice joins in, telling you about the tiniest church in Cessons, surrounded by even tinier yard. You almost feel the seaside mist on your skin. It's mega sad. Within seconds you know, this is the one, the real shit you've been looking for. The one you trust your room to that Claudia told you about. Perform it. A click, then silence for a bit. Then the tape. Of course you could sing this, and the B-side of the tape contains the instrumental version. It's like the world itself is Gart. You have to convince Gart to let you sing karaoke in the whirling. After you've won him over, you can express yourself. Let the pain out. Make everyone understand. The lieutenant watches you. These are some wonderfully regular pants. Not too tight, not too loose, moderate in every sense. You'll blend right in at some pleasant dinner party. I know you do. These Inter Isolari pants are like wearing a perfect, Compromise in your nether regions. No one will call the moral intern on you like this. That's for sure. You're a little more moralist now, buddy. A little more normal, even if you didn't want to be. Makes sense? This is... The noxious odor emanating from the drunk.
Don't you call her? Yeah! Don't call her! Abigail.
Never thought you'd see such a thing in your...
Don't call her Abigail!
He snorts and beckons you.
Don't call Abigail! Don't call...
The man hiccups.
There's no use.
The drunk, he does not sound well at all.
Don't you fucking call her! Hear me? Abigail? Don't!
There was little chance.
Hey, Tequila! Good to see you. How's business? So what's happening? Yeah, Tequila Sunset. That's harsh. I'm like 3 or maybe 4 years into mine. Wait, no. Make it 5. Things aren't going super well for Idiot Doom Spiral either. Haven't found those keys yet, haven't won that great piece of ass back. No word from my business buddies. We are saving the world.
Please! Please don't call! Don't!
Okay, we're drinking. We're drinking alcohol. That's what we're doing. I tried to save the world once, a long time ago, with enterprise, creativity, and willpower. But that didn't work out. So now, it's a pirate's life for me. It's you. You're Tequila Sunset. We've met before. Don't you? Maybe. You look like you want to know how Tequila Sun... Let me take it. Hey, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. This is your story. Stop interrupting. You got here on Friday to solve a case, hoping to be the early bird who gets the worm. And by the worm, I mean the buzz. Because as far as I know, all you did was get piss drunk. Word on the street is you went around the local hostel telling people that you're a police officer, and that it would be really fucked up if you shot yourself in the head right in front of them. That's pretty high concept, if you ask me.
Oh yeah, that's totally your style. The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He's listening as casually.
Hey man, I'm not judging. This life's a valley of woes. Some of the highest concept people in history have killed themselves. And been drunks. Either way, it was a late Saturday night when we, the Union of Moribund Alcoholics, got our drink on. Nothing remarkable about this. We get our drink on 24/7. Makes everything warm and glowy. I trust you know the feeling. One moment we hear the sound of a motor carriage revving up somewhere on the plaza, followed by a series of dings and bangs.
Do you remember the sound of wood cracking? The billboard?
Naturally, loud noises pique the interest of anybody owning a pair of ears. Anyway, there was a brief silence. A gasp of silence, if you will, followed by a real commotion. We heard the carriage careening towards the coast at top speed. Sounded like someone jumped the canal. We grabbed our brewskis and rushed.
3 men are standing on a wooden platform extending out from the shore of a dilapidated fishing village. Their cheeks red, spirits high, beers in hand, eyes glazed over.
What we saw was a sight to behold. A beat-up police carriage containing you. Right there on the beach. You revved the engine and screamed at the top of your lungs. "The time hath come!" So, naturally, being the curious cat I am, I asked what time hath come. To which you replied, "The time hath come for tequila sunset, the end of all things." Yeah, looms. Why not? Then you jammed the pedal and
Your hands cramp on the steering wheel.
we ran towards the ice whilst you crawled your way out, miraculously unhurt, covered in seaweed and shit, like some kind of sea monster. When we finally got there, you were sitting on the beach crying. You said that your badge and uniform were in the car. It was too late to get in there, though. The carriage had sunk too deep. Recognizing a brother in need, we offered our condolences and invited you to party with us, which you naturally agreed to.
What else was there to do? Thank you, brothers, for your helping hand.
We asked about the whole tequila sunset thing, and you told us it was your name now and insisted that we all call you that from then on. I think you said that you were the event, and that you would smash the looms of reality. Yeah, I agree. Hours. It was an all-night drink-a-thon. Then, at some point, I think it was Sunday morning, you got belligerent and wanted to talk about Revacholian women. How they're beautiful and also whores and so on. How
Wow.
Yeah, I bet tequila's a fucking legend around the precinct.
If you only knew.
You were pretty vague about it, but you kept saying you got fucked real hard, and that we've all been fucked too.
No one's fucked me. I do the fucking around here.
Abigail!
It seemed pretty painful, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I'd say you're still working. Yeah, you seemed really mad about immigrant. I'd rather not get into the details. It was pretty low. You kept calling yourself a goddamn...
As you've already determined, the actual number is just over 200. But what's a little embellishment between friends?
No thanks to the squares at the precinct. Beside your gun and your badge, you said something about your hope or heart or something. To be honest, the details are a little hazy. In retrospect, you told us that they were a bunch of fucking losers whose main interest was cramping your style. No specifics, though. It was more about you that night. You were the star of the show. Yeah, you said it was no biggie and that you'd solve it in no time. And that you didn't need anyone to do it. You're doing it solo now.
A lot of cops go solo and hermit once they reach that level of alcoholism.
It's a hard thing for a man to confront his past. That's whoop-de-doo. So now I'm a fucking
Perhaps it's significant. Exactly.
It depends, really.
The gleam in his eyes and the slouch.
Booze! Did you already forget our party? The thing I relayed to you earlier. So, have you got anything for good old idiot Doom Spiral? Not much, but it will do.
Hey, Spiral Boy, you gonna share that?
Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. Something happened to you. I was once a reasonably high net worth individual. A founder / junior partner at a high concept creative services agency. When my story begins, I had just landed a major contract with an insurance firm. I used the profits from my agency to finance what I called a cultural incubator. Abstract value generation, value per person, high concept stuff. I developed the paradigm, worked within the paradigm, but the burden of leadership weighed heavily on me. So I went jogging every so often to keep myself sane. 22 full-time employees, an all-star team, a potentially historical set of individuals. Worrying about it did. With my trusty Sansarique tracksuit, I felt like I could conquer the world. But now dreams are worn thin, much like my tracksuit. One day I left on my evening run. As you may know, it's impossible to clear your head when you're distracted by the sound of keys jangling in your pockets.
He's right. It's incredibly annoying. His eyes are clouded. His dilated blood vessels encircling his irises like stinging brambles.
So I removed the key ring and put the keys for the front gate in the apartment. I was halfway done with my usual lap when it started to rain. Wet, okay? It was raining really hard. I made my way back home and discovered that I didn't have the key. Naturally, the situation required me to climb over the gate, which I did. There was no climbing down because I slipped and landed on my ass.
No, you don't.
Whatever. The point is, reality was looking rather grim just then. Me lying on my ass in a mud pit in the middle of a heavy shower. But when life knocked me down, I always got up. So I made my way across the yard. Standing in front of my apartment door, fumbling with my pockets, I realized that I'd also forgotten my apartment key. I wish I were, Tequila. I wish I were. Instead of my apartment key, I'd taken the key to the I rang my neighbor's buzzers. If people are naturally wary of ad men, you see. One moment someone chats you up, 5 minutes later you've bought a box of edible lingerie and a strap-on. I don't begrudge them, especially since I was known to be one of the best. Just then, I experienced a moment of clarity. I still had the key to my office. I could wait out the storm there. But when I reached my office, I remembered that I'd asked one of my producers to change the locks that day. And since I hired only the best, he'd already done it, and I couldn't get in. Anyway, long story short, life spiraled out of control. I haven't gotten into my apartment for years, and my girlfriend left me because she didn't want to date a homeless man. The company, well, you see where I'm going with this. So, now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like nothing you've ever... Tequila, I've thought about this series of events for a long time. If there was anything else to it, I would have thought of it by now.
Why didn't you go to the authorities?
Well, at one point they came to me, but, you know, I didn't have any ID on me. So they tossed me in jail for 2... I can't say it increased my faith in the RCM. No offense, gentlemen. The hobo lifestyle definitely has some perks. Not having to pay rent, first and foremost. Not being responsible for 20 other people is nice, too. But that charm wears off pretty quickly. Good fucking question, Tequila. If I knew the answer, you think I'd be hanging out on a beach in this formerly premium but now extremely dirty two-piece Lycra tracksuit? I used to own my realities. Now...
A lost jacket. Sounds...
My agency. Now... The Boom Boom Room. Our concept was... I convinced my partners to reinvest some of our profits in an even more I was financing a group of poets in East Revachol who were Well, you know, sex sells. That's the first rule of advertising. That's what's so cool about advertising. What? You've never seen one...
You really shouldn't touch it.
Pretty nice, huh? This might be...
Good God. It's nearly impossible to describe how dirty this text... And then there's the smell.
Wow, you're lucky.
That's because your paws are fucking filthy, Rosie. My fellow members of the Union of Moribund Alcoholics?
Hey, Tequila!
Shut the fuck up.
I thought he was a cool...
A gurgling sound comes from...
And yeah, you're already acquainted with abs. Tequila, it's a verifiable tragedy. Say, you're a detective, right? Yeah, exactly. If I knew somewhere north of here, that's for sure. You could ask around, see if anyone's seen it. I'm all ears, Tequila. You too, Tequila Sunset.
Good to see you, friend. So what do you want? I got smokes. They're cheap. Very... Here you go.
That is unhygienic and dangerous, and it does not endear you to me.
Unhygienic. This stuff is very... Oh. The system's been good to old Rosemary here, and I... You see, friend, bought cigarettes, bought beer, even bought a bit of speed. Hook 'em and cook 'em, huh? See, friend, it's real valuable. Worth every real, if you catch my... You know what's crazy?
He's finding it difficult.
What? This guy. Oh, this is medicinal spirit. I got one of those scientific ampoules. Didn't stop me for shit. It really isn't. Those arseholes. But the idiot. Like, two,
Don't say it.
Yeah, you thought right. Aye, that's what I said just now. So what do you want then? Aye, by amphetamine I mean speed. Aye, that's what I... Good, my man. Now, in the civil...
Tequila Sunset.
Now that you've acquired some stimulants, it's time for a little pick-me-up. Time to... You raise the bottle, close a nostril, and now the taste is slowly receding into your throat. The rush is growing in... Whoa, this shit is strong. This shit is disco.
I'm not your mother.
As long as you remain to this, spring...